It's time for game number 3 with Moxie and Jenkins.
The question mark, that is Enigma in this game. What do you see happening here?
Well, I actually really like the Enigma versus any of these like Medusa / Luna type heroes, because usually what you have is some sort of lineup that is just like based on amplifying that one hero. And if you Midnight Pulse Black Hole a Luna, like she is 100% going to die. And Bane is the only thing that can interrupt it through that BKB currently. So I think the Enigma is good if you can get into that late game, and that to me is kind of where I see the Wraith King coming in, because you think on like surface level that it's a bit of a weird pick against the Underlord, where you're supposed to lose that lane to him because of the damage he gets from the skeletons. But I think it's just a hero to like run in like a psychopath for Zai to get his holes off.
So you think it's going to be more of just like a very tanky in your face sort of thing, or because it does feel like feels like the Kunkka usually provides that role, right?
Yeah, Kunkka definitely does that. I think Kunkka goes for the like tanky frontlining like BKB armlet build, whereas Wraith King, like, yes, you're going to go for an armlet, but then also there's Blink, there's like Silver Edge, so it's more like a hero that's going to run around on the map and like make fights start in like a different way from a Kunkka. Like they both do it, which that's the perfect game for Enigma, right? It's like you want multiple ways of just having some chaos happen, and then you abuse that.
A couple different entry points, so to speak.
Exactly. Just, it's all about those entry points.
Okay, it'll be interesting to see how it all goes down, because I assume, you know, like you said, if the Wraith King does run in with his face, does have to be very, very careful, obviously. But if they are slow, they're trying to move away from the reincarnation, perhaps get the perfect black hole. But who knows? It is Zai playing the Enigma, of course. So this guy is no stranger to the hero, and quite a good player as well.
It's a weird build, Quelling Blade, and oh, nice little Sunstrike on the range creep.
Some style points right there, you know?
Yeah, very nice. I mean, may as well use that early mana on Quasing Sword Invoker. It's not like you're really going to use it for early Forge Spirits or something like that, or Cold Snap. It just doesn't do anything. Misha.
But it is a lot of poke, right, coming out from the side of OG.
Yes.
It's going to have to be very well set up.
100%, 100%. SVG's read on that that's a really good read, and I think that perhaps that's why Wraith King was also picked up. You know, you say like Kunkka already fulfills that role of starting team fights, but maybe it's like, okay, when there's this much poke on OG, it cannot just be a Kunkka. Like, we need more. So that at least to me, that makes sense for picking this hero.
Yeah. Cookie hop forward here over onto Taiga.
Level 2 timing.
It's a lot of damage. Good lord. He is forced to use that very far. Oh, it gets canceled. Oh, the first blood going to iNsania. And a little tip to boot.
Really well played by Liquid, pushing the lane out like this so that way they get level 2 and killing Taiga. I think if Taiga gets level 2 there, if OG has level 2, and it's just a 2v2 where they're all 2, there's no kill that happens there. Like, that's the one small window where you can take an advantage in that lane. So really well played by them.
EZM is running away with the CS here right now over in this mid lane. 12-2 on the Invoker, 6-1 on miCKe. I mean, it's kind of expected though, right? It's always going to be a little bit more difficult trying to last hit against the range exort hero, but
I feel like Kunkka has traditionally been considered an Invoker counter, but maybe it's more of like you'll dumpster a Quas Wex Invoker. I feel like BZM is just playing this really well. His laning, I mean, yeah, his laning is just really good. We saw in the previous series, he did extremely well in his laning stage as well, so.
There's that Sunstrike coming in early, a little bit off the mark though.
Damn.
Yeah, we'll get clicked a bit.
Yeah, that might have actually been a kill if the coordination between them was a little bit tighter. Yeah, you know, whatever.
Next time. It's
you know,
early. It's only 3 minutes into the game. Well, you know.
Well, if you're an Invoker, like the thing is, if you're Quas Exort, you're not really spending your mana like pressing things that much in lane anyway. Right. So and you have a good amount of mana regen if you're going for like Null Tallies or Bassi or like one of these items. So you may as well use it for these like Fish Sunstrikes and, you know, Sunstriking range creeps and stuff like that. Because what's the point at sitting at 100%?
Ooh, BZM. It's a lot of damage. He's going to have to teleport out. This doesn't feel very good to have to leave your lane, especially when you felt like, you know, you're doing pretty well in that lane.
Yeah, and
He's got to walk back.
Quas Exort, yeah, probably doesn't have boots. Not great at like walking back to lane, but you know, you'd rather that than to go down there for sure.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be giving the other mid laner any sort of advantage.
Taiga in both of these games is just like going tons of mangoes. iNsania too, we can see he picked up 4 of them. I think he started with 6, so it's interesting. 7 tangos?
Yep.
My dude had 9 tangos to start. All right.
Was expecting a lot of harass, clearly.
This is like the extension of the support meta that we've been seeing so far, which is just buying a ton of regen and carry starting with literally nothing. This is what it's come to.
Just constantly feeding different types of regen to your core at all times.
Wait, Soul Ring? That's cool. Okay, so 9 tangos on iNsania, and that lets Matumbaman have a Soul Ring for just spamming this lane. I don't remember the last time that I saw Soul Ring Wraith King. That's crazy.
That is not something common. Nice here. I'm just gonna put Boxi in a little nightmare. They are aware that there is a sentry, although it looks like they were aware previously, since it's at half health. So it's gonna make the shenanigans of Boxi a little bit more difficult, as Yuraghi will punish him. Let's give off a couple of these clicks and a Lucent Beam.
Tough lane for Zai. You know, he's getting a lot of denies, as you will with Enigma, but Bane with the Luna aura and the Luna who's going to be like, you know, glaving your Eidolons.
Yuraghi taking a lot of damage, though. He sat for a long time in that Midnight Pulse and don't get a kill.
Well, that's one way to turn it, is to just literally kill them while they're killing your Eidolons.
Boxi, he wants his kill. He does that. He's got that creep there, but Misha, gonna be just fine.
Yeah, that feels bad. Enigma is definitely not supposed to be getting kills at this point, and then that's on a catapult wave. So that's going to be a bit of pressure on the tower here. Zai alone probably can't do that much. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to tank for the catapult.
Middle lane have a little bit of a gank over onto BZM. It's like they're not going to dive the tower. Taiga's make his way in. The Sunstrike coming in will land over onto Boxi. Not missing that one.
Yeah, that was
Zai
stylish.
Dropping the Midnight Pulse, realizing that, you know, he's all alone here. They'll put a Nightmare out, put a little damage on the Eidolons. A little bit more. Should have a Lucent Beam up in a second. They won't even need it. It's going to be Misha who gets the final hit on Zai.
That's more in line with you know, how I thought that lane should go. It's and any heroes that are like, you know, totally comfortable just running out and right-clicking your Eidolons, it feels really bad to play against as Enigma, because they kind of keep you alive by being that threat, but they can just run past them because you can just glaive them down, right-click them. 2 high armor heroes too.
Makes sense. And again, it just seems like we have this little personal side battle going on between Taiga and iNsania, but that's allowing a lot of space for both of these cores to be able to go and hit creeps.
AMMAR's taking a bit of a lead because, you know, as the panel pointed out, Underlord very good against a hero who's just giving him that constant, like, huge damage buffs of the skeletons. And if you're not using the skeletons on Wraith King in order to prevent that, well, then you're not using one of your primary abilities.
Yuraghi finding the kill on Boxi in the bottom lane. The Sentry Ward's been helping out quite a bit, it seems, as Misha also taking a decent amount of damage from Enigma, but back off. Need to heal up a little.
You know, Zai is one of the #1 players I think that I've seen where he like plays really aggressive right before getting 6. Okay, so I didn't do it this game, but he'll play really aggressive right before getting 6, and then he'll black hole somebody who's not expecting it. Like I always see him get early kills on Enigma. He's actually going for an Orchid.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean
I respect it. You know, Zai is one of those people that's going to be able to make something weird work and set the meta, so.
Yeah, both of these offlaners just don't build normal items. They refuse.
I love it, though. It makes it so much more fun to watch. Trying to guess, like, what's their next item, why are they building that, then seeing it all unfold.
It's cool because it makes certain heroes viable to do these, you know, different builds.
Misha making this rotation to the top lane with the Sunstrike. Bramble's holding in place. The cookie is not going to save your life here. Taiga gets a kill. miCKe, though, they have vision. They know he's here. He just keeps running around in circles. They ping it out. miCKe. He's probably just going to head back. This is giving BZM a lot of space here in this mid lane. And allowed to push him out, and it wastes a little bit of miCKe's time here.
Yeah, so this rotation that they do towards the top lane is more a result of knowing that Zai on the bot lane with the black hole, it's very likely that he's going to be played towards. He's going to use that to get a kill. So, like, why bother sending someone down there to die to it when you can just like pressure the other side of the map? Although OG's not really getting any tower damage here because their heroes are not great at doing tower damage. It would be the Luna that needs to go there, but at this point, Luna's not exactly comfortable doing that. Just wants to hit creeps.
She's not there yet, so this bottom tower taking a lot of damage should fall to Enigma. Zai will get that, and that opens up the jungle quite a bit. So Boxi doing Boxi things here, just trying to be as annoying as possible, take away the farm from Yuraghi, and they do have some nice wards here to keep tabs. Look at, you've got a couple of the entryways into this point of the jungle just warded up. So that way they can keep an eye on what Yuraghi is doing, if there's any stacks, and if they need to invade.
I gotta talk about the Orchid Enigma because it's so strange. Unfortunately, you can't micro the skeletons to take that off of you.
No, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be convenient. Remember when people were going Necrobook Enigma, and it was kind of like you do this pairing of using the Malefice, the stun duration to like get a ton of necro damage. Like Enigma's actually not that bad of a single target hero as long as you've like something to actually benefit from Malefice. So I'm kind of thinking like maybe that's the concept here, that you get the Orchid and in the Malefice you can get so much damage because nobody's gonna like turn and fight you, you know, during a Malefice.
Right.
So you put all the Eidolons on, maybe have like a +1. Like if you do Orchid and then black hole somebody because of the percentage damage, like they're going to die 100%. It also is like an early game item that lets you have mana regen that's not just like Soul Ring or Mana Boots. It gives you that like permanent full mana. Is he gonna use it?
Yeah, he is. Taiga, 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 you're not escaping this time.
So the big thing for why the Necrobook and why this Orchid is good on Enigma is because around the black hole, when you don't have it, you still have kill threat. Right. That's the idea behind it. And so all of those other things that I mentioned, plus the fact that you're going to be a useful hero without the black hole, I think is why he built it.
AMMAR going perhaps a little bit too far, a little bit too deep, but they do have a big Sunstrike. It doesn't matter. There's just 3 heroes on one little AMMAR, and now he's dead.
miCKe has a Blade Mail on Kunkka.
Yep.
So that is for the untargetable damage of Underlord, Luna, Invoker to a degree, who's going to be, you know, meteoring you.
Pretty smart idea.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing Blade Mail game. Really good.
Yeah, I like the idea, like you said, just to revisit the Orchid on Enigma. We have this problem on a lot of the big team fight heroes, right? You have this issue on specifically like Tidehunter. That's one of the heroes
Which is why you get nags on Tide.
Right, or you know, you build very tanky utility sort of thing, so you still
You're
have...
a tank, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you've got another purpose besides just an ult, and I think the concept of having that Orchid, like you said, really smart, and a good way to maximize the usage of the hero.
And I think that works because of the Malefice talent at level 10. I think there's a couple of Malefice talents that you can get now on Enigma. And so they buff up the damage, the stun duration, and so it's a legit spell now, really legit.
Taiga opening up with that Cursed Crown as the Bedlam knows that Zai can't really do much right just yet, and a Sunstrike from BZM will secure the kill.
Yeah, Orchid not exactly paying off in that scenario, but you could see that Zai was really ready. Like if the Sunstrike doesn't come out, he was going to turn an Orchid plus like hit with the Eidolons, and I think you can actually kill these sups if you Malefice them, especially once you get that level 10 talent. It's like, it's perma-stun.
I think it was just one of those situations where he wasn't expecting everyone to be there either.
No, he wasn't.
A little bit of play here in this mid lane. A good terrorize coming out from Taiga. They'll follow up with the Fiend Script. They should be able to obliterate miCKe. So he's not going to be a part of this fight. Zai sitting on the back lines here. Doesn't have that ultimate just yet. They get miCKe's courier on top of that, so lot of damage mentally and physically in the game going out there against miCKe.
He's not feeling too good about that one.
No.
Great positioning for Misha, wrapping around like that. He wasn't expecting that. He saw all of these heroes like hiding behind the tower and playing towards the right side. He was not expecting a Fiend's Grip to just like come from above. They kind of pincered him there, and he was trapped.
Under attack.
Couldn't get the boat off.
No, he couldn't. He couldn't get much of anything off, honestly.
Dude, AMMAR's build, he has no points in W. He's even like considering going for the talent at level 10. It's like, do I need this stun? Yeah, I'll go ahead and go for it. Okay. I see you, AMMAR. I see you.
Just doing it to keep you on your toes, Jenkins.
I mean, this is like it's such a greedy build. I feel like AMMAR in general is like such a greedy style offlaner, but he's high skill enough that he has leads, and when you have a lead, you should play like a more core style of offlane.
Taiga getting poked here by Boxi. Doesn't have any mana really to do a whole heck of a lot. So he's gonna go for the Shadow Robe. They're trying to just hold him in place here with those kisses as they rain down some Hellfire, and they'll eventually find the kill on Taiga. The tips.
Zai's going for BKB next. You know what? The Orchid could also be... Well, I mean, you could just build a Linken's for this if you really care, but to a degree, it counters the Bane countering of the Black Hole, because if you go into a fight, you could Orchid the Bane and then, you know,
I feel like the targeting has to be so, like, you'd have to be so fast and you'd have to be able to see everything, right, in order to get that off. Because, like, that was also a thought in my mind, but I was like, that's so hard to actually...
It's an option, though. It's an option.
It is an option.
And the more options you have in Dota, to quote Howie 69.
Taiga, again, there's just too much damage. They'll collect themselves another kill, and they'll take down some Forge Spirits while they're at it.
By an old lady.
So AMMAR goes for this casual Helm and then builds into Atos. So the Helm to him is just like a lane dominance item, and Underlord is actually a pretty low armor hero at early levels, so getting that Helm does help you more than a Ring of Health, I think.
You'd think he'd be armored like a tank.
Yeah, but you know, there's also like Weaver minus armor, Snapfire minus armor.
They have a lot of ways to reduce the armor.
Yeah, so definitely more value than a Ring of Health. But it's closer these days with the nerfs to Helm. It used to be like Helm was just the best item for laning in general as an offlaner, but now it's sometimes people go for a casual Ring of Health. Zai did it in the last game.
Atos is completed though for AMMAR now, so they've got multiple ways of being able to catch.
Scanning for enemies.
It's weird having the Atos with only level 2 pit though. Not that big of a stun duration. Like usually root duration, you want that pit to be maxed out, but he's super farmed because of his build.
Is it just, yeah, I was about to say, is this just something that he did specifically for laning, for farming? Because you said he's very greedy. So if you're able to, Taiga walking into quite a few of liquid again, and they'll find themselves a pick off on miCKe while this is happening. So I think you're happy with that, especially because they don't end up getting the kill on Taiga, and they get the kill on mid instead.
Yeah, miCKe's having a tough time this game. Just the grip pair with the ball. Oh, there's the combo.
Yeah, he went right into that, so Boxi collecting the kill to get the Nightmare off over on Snapfire. Need a little bit more damage. They'll jump forward. Oh, the Black Hole, though, coming out from Zai will be able to hold the Invoker in place. And they should have more than enough damage to take down BZM, but they'll also be able to take down Zai. Boxi is trying to put out some more damage using those little bugs. And you can see that Matu was starting to join into the fight. Everyone's just going to back off, and while this is happening, Yuraghi continues to farm. Not top of the net worth, though, by any means.
Closing in on that BKB, though. That'll be a big timing for them.
Misha finding himself a little bug. Taiga looking to make some plays here. Throws down the Bramble, throws down Terrorize. Does have AMMAR following up here. Fire Blast will connect over onto Taiga. This Eidolon giving a lot of vision. The X marks the spot. They're going to drag him right back in again. They've got the Snapfire. Kisses, though, get the kill. Very nicely done by Zai to have the foresight to move the Eidolon to keep that vision.
Zai TB's towards the top lane. No Black Hole, so he's kind of mode chill. Whenever you have Enigma, Tidehunter on your team, the way that you play the game, the timings that you play for are fairly obvious. It's literally the cooldowns. On the flip side, it's easy to play around those as well. If you're OG, you know that like you can farm aggressively like this if you're Yuraghi, and you're a lot safer because there is no huge Black Hole coming in. But with that being said, Zai doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet, so I suppose it's not that much of a threat until that point. No BKB as well, so it is interruptible. There's ways to deal with it.
I mean, it feels like a lot of the times when these Black Holes are going off, it's mostly OG kind of walking into battle, and it allows for Zai to get into that position to help get those sort of pickoffs. Ooh, that's a big crit here, Misha. Says, chill out, Matu, take a nap. I am going to run like heck, and Boxi says, yeah, no, you're not allowed to do that. Couple more clicks, are they going to be able to get the Rosh? No, they have the bug on Roshan. They'll get the kill on Misha, and they'll find themselves a kill on Taiga. Just like that, Liquid marches into the Rosh pit. Sunstrike comes out, they're just keeping tabs, but I don't know if they can actually fight this with 2 heroes being down. Both subs not going to be a part of this fight.
They do have like chip heroes though. Yeah.
They poke, for sure.
I agree with it. Like, I agree with Liquid being careful here because...
Still no black hole for another 60 seconds. Throwing the boat out. Jump over here, BZM. They've got the Eclipse, the BKB coming out from miCKe. Matu sitting a little bit low as Yuraghi's running for his life. Looks like AMMAR's gonna try to just Uber himself out of the situation. Doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. Actually cancels it because the rest of the team, they're back up. A little low on mana on a couple heroes, but they're making their way back. And Sunstrike, oh, very close to Matu as he was shifting with that armlet.
That genuinely could have been Roach.
That could have been a death right there, AMMAR. Well, at least the reincarnation, right?
I think you could actually lose Roach with that reincarnation.
Taiga again. Step because they're already up again. My goodness. Oh,
please.
Yeah, just like no, please no.
That is just a support classic. You're literally supposed to be immune and you just die.
It is ridiculous how far that Snapfire can be. Like,
yeah.
It's completely off the screen and you just see these kisses coming in. They'll check out the Rosh, though.
Now that it's on cooldown.
Matu, though, very forward. They've got a little bit of pinstring. There's going to be a nice meatball. iNsania is the first to drop. They'll chase after BZM. Boxi clicking away. Looks like they're going to try to get enough damage over onto Zai with the Bedlam. There it is, the Sunstrike coming in. But they'll end up losing Taiga for. The reincarnation does get popped on Matu. BZM trying to run away. It's not looking like he's going to be able to. This Invoker, it will fall as Matu now running away from Yuraghi, running away from AMMAR. They have so much damage. They pop the BKBs. They want to make sure that they can get this, but it's really hard to get their hands on Matu. He's just shifting, toggling so well, but eventually he will fall to Yuraghi.
Yeah, these fights are crazy. I mean, Zai not being able to get the black hole off is always going to be the main problem in fights. That is just the nature of any Enigma game. So Taiga going in and being that annoying backline disrupting hero, like sure he goes in and he dies, but he gets a kill on Zai, and more importantly, even if he didn't, he disrupts the most important hero in the team fight, which is Zai with that black hole. Once Zai has BKB and Blink Dagger, it's a little bit harder to do that for Taiga, but in that fight, like, what a pain. Look at Taiga, just go straight to the right, just go straight for Zai. And all of this is allowed to happen because he's just over there being this annoying nuisance.
These fights are just so split, too. Like, people were not in the right positions, I think, for Liquid. I don't know if they were necessarily expecting it to happen. I would say that they were not.
I think they were, like, because...
You think so? They're just so spread apart, though, this entire time. Like, you saw, like, Kunkka, like, miCKe was nowhere near this.
But iNsania was standing on the high ground. Like, they knew that some sort of smoke play was coming.
True.
And they broke it. It's just that BZM, like a maniac, just blinks in. He just goes in, giving vision for his team because he has that BKB.
Oh dear. Okay, there it is. There's the BKBs coming out from miCKe, coming out from Zai. Look at the positioning though here on Misha. Gonna try to get enough damage over onto AMMAR. They'll turn their attention to that. They just blow up iNsania thanks to that BKB. They're chasing over onto the back line. Zai goes in for the black hole. And Misha, though, look at this positioning. Ready and just anytime he needs to, coming in there with the Fiend's Grip. Good terrorize coming through. Yuraghi, though, sitting very, very low. He's got to be careful. He's got to try to get a little bit more damage on Matu, sitting so low. The bouncing glaives coming out, though. Yuraghi gets the final hit as they're going to try to get out of there in a hurry. Boxi can't do anything about this. They catch their Uber and they leave the area. It looks like Taiga, though, he's missed the car.
Yeah, Matumbaman going down there is the big problem, and then Yuraghi doesn't end up going down.
Can you imagine being Matu, watching these glaives bounce around like, no.
Yeah,
no.
he tried.
He tried so hard, and he almost made it, but it's a little bit too tough. Nice Nightmare just to dodge. This is a very, like, neck-and-neck game number 3. This is what I like to see, Jenkins.
Yeah.
Kind of Dota that's exciting.
It could go either way, and, you know, once again, it's all about Zai with the black hole. And then on the flip side, it's about Misha with the cancel, too. So Zai already couldn't hit an ideal black hole in that fight because without the Blink Dagger and just the fact that he was kind of the guy that was in the front and got gone on. he couldn't get a great black hole off. With the blink, that'll be different. But Misha also being there for the grip is like, even if he has blink and black hole with the BKB, then you're still gonna get that interrupted. But if he can get that on Yuraghi, they can win the fight for sure.
Watch the way that Misha moves in these fights. Like, that's one thing that, like, I'm constantly trying to keep in the corner of my eye, is that he's always so close by to Yuraghi, just enough that, you know, he's not necessarily going to get hit with the black hole, but he knows what the assignment is. He understands the assignment. It's to protect Yuraghi, to make sure that they cannot get the black hole off and hold this Luna into place, because Luna, you know, the majority of their big damage. And so it's very interesting to see his positioning the entire time.
Yeah, and you know, this...
As I say that, though, you know, he's very far forward here. He's going to get dropped by Matu, but the Aegis has already picked up. His job is done, and they're going to start chasing. They have their eyes on this Wraith King. miCKe having to be a little bit careful, but he bumps the Blade Mail. It's going to be the first time where we're going to see Matu fall. AMMAR taking a lot of damage over here because the rest of his team is having to scatter. And they'll find the kill on Taiga. They'll get the kill on Matu, though. AMMAR just manning up on the back lines here. They'll get the silence cookie hop coming out from iNsania, and he ends up paying for murdering the king. But
Did AMMAR just go in?
yes, he did.
1v5
yeah, well,
Matu?
maybe not 5, but he did just beeline after that Wraith.
I was just looking at like the death ticker, and I see AMMAR killed Matu, and I look and he's just totally alone with 3 heroes surrounding him, and it's like, what?
I'm sure if you ask nicely, maybe we can get a replay.
I don't know if we can. It was like off. It was so unexpected. It was just off camera.
There was definitely, you could see him just duking it out with everybody.
Get a replay of the mini map. That would be that'd be ideal here.
All right, well, the Aegis is still on the Luna. It looks like they're going to start putting pressure on this bottom area of the map.
Dire's bottom tower is about to
There's not much life to it left anyway, so with the alacrity, this Luna is going to cut through. But again, watch the way that... Okay, here we go, here we go. So you see how Yuraghi's fighting over here, but look over here in this court with the live thing in the way. Oh, dear. So he's coming right back up, and look at this. Look how he's got the BKB active.
He's just one.
And he's just
one guy
fighting them.
What?
Just whacking away. Yeah, it's insane. Absolutely insane.
AMMAR the Ferocious. What the hell was
AMMAR
that?
the Fighter.
Good lord.
He looks very pleased with himself.
That kid
Worth it.
terrifies me. Genuinely. My God.
I mean, birds terrify you too, but
well,
yes.
they're very violent creatures. AMMAR might be a bird, actually. Now that
You think AMMAR the feathered friend?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
By the way, going all the way back, I really like Misha's positioning in that fight, dying first. That was 100% because they needed to run in and steal the Aegis on Team Liquid. And so he just runs in and dies because he's not needed to interrupt the black hole. Now he's going to be more careful with his positioning.
And they'll have Fiend's Grip, they've got the Atos, they've got everything to lock Boxi down.
I think when Misha doesn't have Fiend's Grip up, he can just throw his life away for like a good initiation. And when he does have Fiend's Grip, then he can play that backliner.
And he just tags along with Luna everywhere to make sure that he's in position.
Yeah. One other like underrated element to Bane is definitely the Enfeeble. It's really annoying being Matu and trying to like lifesteal your way through these fights, and he's also like reducing your damage by like what, 60%. And then you have Underlord on the flip side who's also reducing that. So like, how the hell are you doing damage? You're just not.
That's the problem. That is a huge problem.
It's just I. It's really just I.
BKB gets completed for the Wraith King, but they found themselves Misha, and he does have the Fiend's Grip that's on cooldown. So like you said, he's taking a little bit of a risky move, trying to go and some D-wards.
He's a body.
He's fine with this, though. And again, while this is happening, Yuraghi continues to go up in terms of net worth, currently sitting at the top, 16K, 15K over on BZM. So, I mean, maybe that's their plan, and if it is, it's working out real nice. Aghanim Scepter now completed for Invoker. Lots of good items coming out.
So the likely thing to be paired with the Cataclysm this game is Bane.
Nightmare, Fiend's Grip, yeah.
Yeah, they don't exactly have any other great setup for it. Like Underlord is just not realistic. You know, you're playing into BKBs with roots. You're not gonna get Cataclysm off. They're gonna BKB it and just walk out of it. So lots of pressure on Misha this game in order to set up his team.
AMMAR just teleported out and just got a kill. All right.
I'm confused.
Yeah, me too a little bit, but I guess he saw the opportunity.
I'm not going to pretend to know what the hell just happened, but somehow Boxi is dead. I don't know.
Is under attack.
All right, well, there it is. There's the alacrity on the Luna again. Still has that Aegis for another 25 seconds, and they're just going to chew through this tower very quickly.
Interesting that Yuraghi has a Crystallis, and he went back for completing the full Manta style, and then he's not even finishing any Daedalus or Silver Edge type item. He's going for Satanic.
Oh, the black hole over onto BZM. Taiga's here, though. Immediately Shadow. I'm not going to be able to go and stop this. BZM somehow was still alive at the end, but still manages to fall. Taiga now running away. Cookie hop forward. They should be able to get this kill. miCKe gets the nice hit here. As the rest of the team on OG, they were not prepared for that. But, I mean, the thing that I'm concerned about, Jenkins, is now Black Hole's on cooldown.
Yeah, the thing is, when you get this late into the game, you know, Invoker's dead for 60 seconds, so when Invoker's back alive, Black Hole will be only on cooldown for 60 seconds, and that's a tough timing to, like, take a smoke. By the time you get to the fight, there's like 30 seconds left on it if you perfectly time it. So that's a nice thing about killing a core with Black Hole at this point in the game when they're as farmed as this Invoker, is that, like, the death timer is just so long, so
It does open a
worth
window,
it.
right?
Yeah.
For them to at least take some damage over onto this tower. But I also think, again, this is a very pokey lineup, so I think as soon as Invoker's back up, they could try to make something happen.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They just don't have that threat anymore.
Yeah, the question for Liquid is, in this downtime, do you want to play, like, together but safe, or split and safe? And I'm kind of feeling that, yeah, OG goes for, like, the immediate smoke. If you play together and safe, you're risking, like, getting into a 5v5 fight. This is honestly for, like, better.
They go for everything. My goodness, Yuraghi does the Eclipse. We have a Sunstrike. It's a lot of damage.
Like, you'd rather that be your 5, but when you split up like that after using Black Hole, you just lose one person instead of, like, 3 or 4, where you could lose the game off of that, you know?
Right. We get an immediate rift from AMMAR. Yuraghi running over to Taiga. You know that this Kunkka's down for 50-something seconds. They're gonna flex their muscle a little bit. Boxi.
I like the
Affinity.
I look at AMMAR's inventory, and I've been watching this kid play all week in pubs, and I just feel like if he hasn't, he just gets Satanic. I was gonna say if he has a chance to get Satanic, he gets one. That's just wrong. He just gets Satanic on literally everything. Like, the guy just plays carry from the offlane and then somehow solo kills carries and weavers off screen to the point that we don't even, like, we can't even conceive of how the hell it happened, you know? It's...
Yeah, he just walks into 3 heroes and, you know, murders the position 1.
It's just, it's gotta feel so weird to play against. It's just weird. Because no offlaner plays like this.
Well, I think maybe that's why he's having such good success. I mean, aside from the fact that he's obviously very talented, but the idea is just you're bringing something new to the game. And how often do we see that happen? Whenever we see teams like, for example, Secret always likes to run, you know, a bit peculiar drafts, everybody gets caught off guard and immediately they scramble, they go back, they watch the replays. They're like, okay, how did this possibly happen?
Yeah.
Because they need to figure it out, and then it becomes just commonplace. And that's a very exciting thing for Dota. It's one of the things that I think makes it so incredibly cool, is the fact that there's constantly new builds and new ways to play just coming out of nowhere. And half the time we're like, oh my God, this seems insane.
I think it matters more these days because everything is so close. Due to the fact that there's, like, this amazing replay system, you can, like, study replays and get up to date really quickly. There's so many people competing. You've got DPC. Like, there's a lot of reasons why Tier 1 and Tier 2 are closing in on each other and why these teams are all so close to each other. So these, like, random new ideas that people have never seen before have that much more value because you're not just going to, like, outlane a team because everybody's so good at laning, right? So it's like you need to do stuff like this where it's like people don't know how to play into a Satanic Underlord because...
When have you played against a Satanic Underlord?
Most Underlords honestly build these, like, defensive, safe, like, sad items. Like,
sad items?
Yeah, the Guardian Greaves and Crimsons. It's like this guy's just running at you, going for Abyssal Blade with a Satanic on Underlord, farming the enemy Ancients alone. Wow, how do you deal with it?
That's the question Liquid's asking themselves right now as they are smoked up. They do have a black hole available, and they have the BKB. What? Oh, this is interesting. All right, they're going to immediately find Misha. They'll blow him up. So now if they want to find anything else here, they don't have to worry about the Bane. There is no buyback on Misha. But OG most likely just going to try to dodge any fights that they can for now.
Yeah, he has the grip, so that's a really good kill.
See?
Won't last long.
Well, I mean, if we're going to have an Abyssal Blade on the Underlord, that's another solution to the BKB. But no solution here, looks like, for Mr. Boxi. He wandered into the wrong triangle at the wrong time.
It used to be way better, Abyssal versus Enigma, because of the little jump that you got out of it. But now that they remove that, not so much of a counter. Like, you have to kind of mess up as Enigma to let somebody walk in. And I mean, you could get an Ether Lens plus Abyssal. That would work. But Zai almost has his Lincoln Sphere. It's such a cheap item these days too, so he'll have it really quickly. And so that way the Bane is going to be less of a problem.
The illusions are just taking all that farm away from Matu. Smoke play, though, coming out from the side of OG. Gonna let Taiga lead. Pretty slippery here. Luna's finished her own Satanic, so these fights could potentially go on for quite a while. Look at the way the Misha's playing. Does have a Blink Dagger now on the Bane. Getting far back, Taiga will find himself iNsania. The Cold Snap, Loosen Beam, force forward right into the Brambles, and that's a dead iNsania. While the rest of Liquid now start moving into the lower half of the jungle. They don't want to have to deal with this. They don't want to have to take a fight without their Snapfire. But they're going to force the issue, it feels, because there is a Roche up. And I think OG wants it.
You know your life is definitely about to end when you force staff yourself through 2 Brambles as the only way out. That's like your safest option.
Yeah, no way out. No way out.
And Liquid, they're not interested in fighting this. You know, I suppose the idea is they can black hole the Invoker just like they did in an earlier fight and win the game by ignoring Yuraghi and just kiting him. And then kill him afterwards, and they figure if they're gonna do it one time, they can maybe do it a second time. But the problem is, as SVG was talking about, we've mentioned a lot, it's this is a huge pokey lineup from OG, and so if you're letting Yuraghi sit there and beam and beam and beam and beam and beam while you're quote unquote kiting him, he's really the one kiting you at that point. That is so many summons.
I know. Somewhere there's an Earth Shaker that's just twitching, just I know it's there somewhere.
Somebody needs to deal with that. All right.
All right, I like this. Okay, we've got the Lincolns on Zai now, so that's going to make it a little bit more difficult. But the positioning has still been just really excellent, and there's still ways to go and cancel this black hole as long as they know about that Lincoln. So perhaps they can get the jump.
BZM also, he's got his Elon disc. It's disassembled and locked, so he can use it in the black hole.
To the Terrorize, they've got the 2 Sun Strikes, and that's a dead Boxi.
All right, I did not anticipate that as a combo, but
they grabbed themselves a Wraith King here. I'm gonna just try to force staff off, try to run away a little bit further. They'll pop the Lincolns over on the Enigma. They ping it out. They know he's got it now. Cookie Hop coming out from iNsania. They need to hold him. Oh, Misha, though.
Oh, boy.
That Midnight Pulse and those Eidolons are pesky.
Honestly,
a little bit of a whoopsie.
Yeah, without grip, it's just not much of a hero. Although, looking back at that idea, it's now that there's a Lincoln's, you could argue that the most important part about Bane is becoming the Enfeeble on Wraith King, as well as the kiting that comes out from Nightmare, because I don't think you're going to interrupt this black hole anymore. It's not going to be possible if Zai is positioning well, and it's Zai, so he probably will. You're not going to Abyssal it. You don't have, an Ether Lens to allow you to do that. It's just the grip. So Zai's going to get his hole off, and you have other options for dealing with it. That's what the Eon Disc 4 is on for BZM.
Nice Ice Path. They're going to try to burn through this mana over on Matu. He does have the shard, though, so he's dead once. They're going to go back in again. Zai getting into position here immediately, though. Yuraghi going to try to just Manta things off. He's got Nightmare, moves away fast. They reset. Whole lot of happening for nothing right now.
Not much else to do in base other than just spin.
Sometimes that's what you got to do. They did take out the reincarnation, so things are very scary for Matu to go forward here.
Yeah, with that nerf on Wraith King too. 40 seconds, or 20 extra seconds he has to wait.
Okay, all right, they're gonna try to make some plays here over onto the Luna. Still has the Aegis. It's ticking down. The Midnight Pulse hurts. First death of Luna down. They're gonna try to
maybe
grab her, get out of here.
Okay.
They don't need to push their luck right now. They'll just back. Is this a fake back? Or are they gonna try to move their way back in again?
I think AMMAR was worried about the hole into the Aegis, so he just prevented that entirely by bringing him to the creep wave. And it's not far enough away that it's like, oh, they're out. You know, no, they're still in. That was just in case the whole follow-up was going to come there. So it's actually a really good read by Zai to not hole there. He's like, it's too obvious. There's going to be some sort of save coming in. I mean, that would have been a dank save if
that would have been
hole did happen.
Insane, right?
And AMMAR saved like that. Like that's just a good read from both sides. I literally did not see that.
It's one for the highlight reel.
It would have been.
All right, what do we have? What do we have for neutral items?
Tumby is picking up rapier for like regular items.
That's not a neutral item.
It's actually very non-neutral. It's quite aggressive.
Quite aggressive, yes.
So he had it queued up in the previous game as well, or the first game, I should say, and
never got around to it.
Never got around to it, but you know, Wraith King is one of these heroes that. The rapier still is that, like, you know, you're power spiking the entire game. Like, you're stronger than us. You get the rapier, all of a sudden, like, we're twice as strong as you. It used to be like that for every single hero when it gave True Strike. But now it's more so just only really good on these heroes that like, benefit massively from the rapier damage, which a hero that has a built-in guaranteed crit, of course, while one-shotting people is never bad. He also has a cleave talent now, for some reason, on Wraith King. So that's pretty nice as well with the rapier.
Yeah, that'll be able to help clear very, very fast and put a lot of damage for sure. They haven't really been able to move out of the base though over here on the side of Liquid. They're getting a couple more of these neutral items. Boxi though does get spotted out. 3 meteors. And again, that is the Aeon disc getting popped here. Boxi trying to teleport out. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to because he gets terrorized and he gets collected down. BZN getting the kill. Looks like they were trying to make something happen. Yuraghi get in position. Misha, he can't afford to go down like this, but he will get slain. What happened during that? Did he use a Fiend Script? No, he didn't use Fiend Script. Still fighting. Found themselves another target. Zai going for the black holes. Only going to be able to go and grab AMMAR, but look at this damage that they're just able to output. AMMAR's not allowed to fight at all, so they will find themselves a kill. With the black hole to follow up, though, got a tornado EMP, but it looks like it's just to disengage.
You know,
taken down 2.
It's 11K goal lead for OG, but I actually feel like Liquid's in a pretty good spot. They're getting into the late game with Enigma. There's not great ways of canceling the black hole. Zai's going to be getting that refresher fairly soon, so instead of that just being a kill on AMMAR, who should be, you know, completely unkillable, it'll be a kill also on Yuraghi, should be unkillable, unless they die here.
No, they're trying to make something happen. They've got the dust, they've got the X off. But not going to be able to connect here as already BZM runs away, uses that BKB to ensure he can escape.
I was not looking at the minimap. BZM just poking again, and he seems to do this on every hero, where he just blinks in, just uses spells, like, baits you into thinking that there's a bunch of people behind him so that you press stuff. And, I mean, it can be so game-ruining for your opponents to, like, get baited by that and press things, but Liquid didn't exactly take the bait there, and, you know, I suppose being Game 3, in a long, intense series like this, you do tend to get used to a certain player's play style.
I mean, it is a situation, right, where you're not sure about oh, goodness, okay. There was an iNsania there, but Matumbaman jumping in. Knows that there doesn't have that BKB quite up and running. Zai getting into position here. Gets signs. He's trying to go. They pop the Lincolns. Bane just getting stunned up. He's just taking too much damage. So the buyback will pay off as Misha does come back again. miCKe taking a lot of damage here from Yuraghi. They need to get a little bit more damage than Taiga. Are they going to be able to do it? They've already lost Taiga. And now Matu. There is a big cataclysm. Is it going to connect though? Connects over onto Boxi. Matu running for his life. BZM, look how fast he is. He wants to try to grab him, but he's just not going to be able to close the gap. As multiple buybacks occur during that fight.
So there's no Roche. That fight is just kind of like both sides are just hoping to kill an important hero and run down mid and get a Rax, but didn't really happen for either side. I think if you're Liquid, you're you're happy with that because you don't have Black Hole, and still the fight goes decently for you. You force a buyback, you have to buyback as well, and then your Weaver dies and he gets his buyback timer out of the way. So I'm really feeling like even though there's a 13k gold lead, if you have Enigma on your side, you're fairly happy with these things happening. OG's looking to like really pressure off of one of these no Black Hole timings pretty soon, especially with this next Roche coming up.
I mean, that's the draw of these big team fight heroes, right? A good Echo Slam, a good Black Hole, or a Dream or something like that can actually just change the course of the entire game if it happens in the manner that will maximize, you know, the damage. And speaking of damage, double damage ring.
And Yuraghi has an Octarine core on Luna too, so he is really trying to play like that, you know, Phantom Lancer Octarine core build where you just kind of sit at the side and like spam your abilities. So this is like fully committing to that idea of you're never gonna Black Hole me because I'm never gonna enter into a fight. We'll see if it works.
I will say it's a little bit odd, like looking at the lineup and looking at the itemization that came out from a lot of these heroes. Like, I guess the main initiation comes out from BZM, right, with a long-range tornado or something? Because you don't want to have Misha that far forward.
Yeah, it's like BZM or Taiga. Like
Yeah.
they've both been a little weird.
But Taiga can only do so much.
Yeah.
Smoke play, though, coming out from Liquid. They're going to try to make their way out of the base, see if they can grab any stragglers. I'd love to get rid of Misha again, I'm pretty sure, but I'm gonna let Boxi scout because of Coochie.
Yeah,
the refresher orb is completed now. This is a big item timing for Liquid. If they can get 2 Black Holes off, just turn the tide completely. We can see a huge gold swing.
And Roche is up. So this is
the time. Taiga gonna walk to Boxi. Cookie Hop goes into that Shadow Realm. We'll drop the Midnight Post. It's a little bit of a hex coming out. BZM chasing after the Weaver. Taiga, though, taking a lot of damage over on the side. Gonna go in for those long-range Sapphire Kisses. Taiga has himself a Yule, buys just a little bit more time. Not enough, though, so he will fall. Don't have to worry about that. There's a gem on deck. Looks like they've snapped it up.
he needs 3 tornadoes, then he can survive that. 2 was clearly not enough.
Clearly. Let's get more. There's the Stormcrafter that he had and the Yules, but it's not quite enough.
5,100 gold on Luna. Now, I'm thinking, like, what do you buy for this build? Because you don't really care about a Moon Shard, right? Because you're just playing from... Like, you're playing off of your Qs, which is dependent on cooldown, not on attack speed.
Because
so,
Scotty?
I was gonna say, I think Scotty, and then...
Yeah. Oh,
drop
Yuraghi.
the boots. Like, but if you're dropping the boots, then...
You need those. I mean, they do have spider legs on the team, I'm pretty sure, but...
I think you probably have to drop the boots, but the issue with that is the fact that Zai now has an easier chance at getting that black hole on you, because you're slow.
A lot of positioning issues, but Roche is up. This is big. Each team, they want this. It's gonna be really hard to go into a pit, though, when you have an Enigma on the enemy team, when you have a refresher. A lot on the line here. Let's see the way that they're dancing around the pit.
Rapier on, I just realized Matumbaman has a rapier. That's very important.
Have a rapier.
Okay, so this is a tremendous timing from Liquid. It's a 12k gold lead for OG, but Liquid, in my opinion right now, is actually stronger. And you can see that OG feels like that as well. They do not want to engage to the point that they literally have an Octarine core on their Luna. It's all about getting the right initiation. Like, get the right hero, get a pick off. Nightmare, Fiend's Grip, some Invoker Tornado on the supports in the back. But Liquid also, they know that. They know that if they take a fight right now, they win. So let's just not get caught. Just follow Matumbaman around.
It's that easy.
Radiant's middle tower
That
can't
easy.
handle this deluge.
Boxi. Trying to do a little bit of scouting. They can see Taiga's over here. We'll send over the Eidolons, try to get more information.
Boxi's got to chill for like 10 more seconds, dude. He's got his Eon disc up in 10 seconds. Like, he is risking...
I mean, they're
here.
just poking away.
He's got
time.
his He's good. He's good. He's chilling.
It's interesting because we talk about OG having so much poke, but with Boxi on this Weaver, he's allowed to do quite a bit of his own poking, just getting this information, as long as they don't stun lock him, right? That's what it all comes down to. Illusion on illusion action. EZM coming forward here, just gonna clean it up a little bit.
This is where, if you're Liquid, you would really love to have a hero that has boots of travel. They're going for the full
They're going
wrap
in.
around.
They're going for full wrap here. To see these couriers zipping
know.
around. BCM jumping in. Oh, he wanted to get Zai, but it's a little bit too slow here. Jump forward here from Matu will immediately pop the Aeon disc. There's a lot of damage getting dumped out here as a follow-up. Can they get enough damage? Yuraghi backing off. They don't like this positioning. They don't want this. Zai finding this opening. He's looking to get anything done. That's a lot of damage coming out from miCKe as they just obliterate Misha. No buyback on the Bane, which is very spooky stuff now. miCKe picking himself a
Hex
completed
on
hex.
okay.
They're going for full control on the side of Liquid. They know that they've got lots of damage from Matu.
And they're all just buying out. They're saying, like, this is where we win or lose the game.
To the pit they go. They don't have the Bane. This is very, very scary. Reminder, they have this refresher on their Enigma. And they don't have a way to cancel out these black holes.
If they get a second refresher, too, like the refresher shard,
Refresher, yeah.
it's going to be devastating.
Lots of hellfire raining down. It's too late, though. Matumbaman got himself that Aegis, so he's got a backup plan now that he has that rapier on board.
Yeah, Zai's got a second refresher.
Oh my god.
Who did they give the Ag shard to? Oh, wait, there's no Ag shard on the third Roche, right?
No, it's just the refresher.
The cheese is on miCKe. Okay, yeah, that's a great cheese target. Not so good on your Wraith King, who's going to have 3 lives anyway. Throw it on the hero that gets that damage reduction.
Say refresher orb now fixed up.
73?
73 Forge Spirits. They've been busy.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of death. This game has been littered with death.
Radiant's middle tower
We
is
have,
under
I think, a
attack.
kill per minute, basically, if you look at the heroes.
73 Forge Spirits?
It's all Luna.
There's no way.
For the Eidolons, anyways.
There's no way. 106 Eidolons. See, that's more reasonable because there's, you spawn so many of them. 73 Forge Spirits. That's more than 1 a minute. My boy's feeding his friends.
All right.
AMMAR's going back for the Hex. His build now is seeming a little all over the place.
Very much a little all over the place, for sure. Got a Satanic, a Basher, and Atos. Looking at a Hex now. We've got some control, a little bit of damage, a little bit of sustainability. Not sure exactly what the Sunderlord is
He's got some identity issues currently.
Yeah. But if it ends up winning the game,
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
it works.
Sometimes you have to pivot. I don't disagree with this. Like, he's realizing that he's not going to be this, like, front-lining right-clicker, because if he goes in, well, we saw what happened when he went in.
Yes.
He gets hold. He dies. Doesn't matter how tanky he is, because Enigma's percentage damage. The tankier you are, the more damage he does to you.
Missing middle.
Oh, Wind Waker. Okay. So Taiga built the correct item. That's a...
That's a really good item, as long as he doesn't get blown up first, though.
Yes, yes. The problem is, when there are 3 black holes, and you only have 1 Wind Waker...
Do the math for me, Jenkins.
By my calculations, that's too few.
For the treasury.
Say my name.
Yeah, that's an AMMAR spray right there. You did say his name earlier. Very authoritative voice.
AMMAR?
Yes.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yep, that is his name.
An Aghanim Scepter. Okay, I like this. He's
Hell yeah.
He's just like, you know what? Let's just get wild in this game.
Let's get that gate. Have we seen a Feats gate?
We're portaling to their fountain. We're gonna kill Zai when he respawns.
There we go.
Oh, wait, where's
Oh, there's a Hex. He's gonna try to blow him up as fast as possible. Meatball's a little bit off the mark here. Oh, this is looking a little bit scary for BZM. Turned into a sheep. That's a lot of damage. Pops the Aeon disc. He's got the BKB. He's gonna go walk away. They've got AMMAR nearby. They need to get out of there. And by God, they just peace out. See you later.
Zai unfortunately got his blink canceled just at like the last second by that ice wall. I think he was looking to
Use one of the holes.
use one of the holes, yeah. And BZM, nice positioning, putting that ice wall down to cancel Zai's blink and then playing like at the far end of it from Zai. So
They moved the refresher, by the way.
Yeah, Wraith King.
Yeah.
Let me see. I mean, I suppose it's because he's got a rapier, and so you can refresh the ults and get that 3rd life. The Aegis is also coming to an end, so... Did I see Witchbane on Wraith King?
Yeah.
Witchbane.
Maybe to deal with Enfeeble or something, I don't know.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
That is very cool. Look at all the
Dang.
brambles. It's like Sleeping Beauty's castle over here.
Well, he can also Witchbane off the Alacrity, which is not bad. They've got the Kunkka Blink Rapier on Wraith King, so they can do this like X sieging. And there's not much that you can do about this. I mean, I suppose you have the Wind Waker. Then you're dealing with a...
You'd have to commit pretty hard, and that's very difficult because pretty much all of their stuff has some kind of a wind-up.
It's a 4-life Wraith King, too, so not exactly the best thing to be Wind Wakering into your base.
Definitely not.
It's like inviting a bear into your house.
Don't invite bears into your house, guys. It's not a good idea.
They maul.
They do indeed.
Not the kind that you would hang out in as a kid.
Well, not, I mean, a lot of people are Zoomers now. They don't know what that means.
No, that is true. I'm sorry. Not with Dota players. Let's be real. We're all old.
Except for Taiga. Yeah, baby.
From the core of the universe.
Look at him.
Beans game.
Look at him. He's creeping. He's thinking about it.
He's like, if I had a portal right now, I could be in Fountain and in these trees right now.
He's tempted. He sees all these lovely Eidolons. But he's the only one who's able to really make steps out of this base right now. It's just too difficult for the rest of the team of OG. So AMMAR's got to be that guy. BZM is trying to push out a little bit, but immediately, you know, backing off, getting back into the safety of his base. Smoke play coming up from Liquid. It looks like they're probably going to try to punish AMMAR if possible, perhaps.
Now the question is, what does AMMAR sell for the eggs? Does he wait until he has the consumable? Is he going to sell the boots? The basher?
I feel like you can't sell the boots, right? Because the boots just make him he's so slow then. Even though he does have like the blink, right? He's got that mobility item, but there's a lot of ways to cancel it out. And you don't want to be stuck in that midnight push.
I just
big
don't know
boy.
if you want to sell it.
Big boy. BKBs. He's gonna just teleport on out. Got out a little cheeky damage on the way too. Look at this. Look at the immediately. They immediately TP to the bottom area. They know BZM's down here. BZM walks right into iNsania. Look at it. He throws out the ice wall. He's going, uh-oh. I gotta get out of here. They go in with the black hole. They're gonna get rid of this invoker right here, right now.
All right, but
There's her friend.
I thought the Eon disc was like, oh, you know, he might survive this, and then Matumba's just no, I'm gonna go ahead and one-shot him here.
Well, he does have buyback, so not the end of the road. AMMAR has just been spending so much time up here now, too.
He's got it coming out. He's got his eggs. And he's getting a bloodstone. Wait a minute. Where's his eggs?
Oh, hold that thought. There's a nightmare immediately being placed over here on Matu.
He didn't buy it yet.
You're so excited.
I wanted to see the eggs.
So excited. Not quite there just yet. And Matu, they're gonna keep doing these cute little plays here. Just put them into sleepy mode. Force him back.
Nice for miCKe to hit the torrent there, just in case the Wind Waker comes out, keeping Matu in the base. That could be bad.
Could be indeed.
But they're throwing like Lincoln Spheres on him, so that's even hard to do.
He's so well protected, I guess, is the thing, right? Like,
yeah.
If you initiate on him, he's got the second life, you follow up. Goes to the BKB play this time. He's like, I'm tired of being nightmared. And he dares them to use something stronger on him, but they're not going to take that bait over on the side of OG.
Yeah, he has refresh BKB just in case, so he's fairly confident just using that to siege. Force out the glyph. Arguably, at this point in the game, the glyph is actually worth more than the racks because like these heroes are so strong. You can take throne in literally 3 seconds. So forcing out that glyph with BKB is actually really important. We almost have 60-minute items coming out. So, you know, we have this really nice timing from Liquid where they're really strong because they have, you know, Rapier and Sheep on miCKe and that sort of thing. But once you get those 60-minute items, like things are just chaos.
And it looks like the next item she's considering is the butterfly, but she's got so many items.
Yeah, what the hell do you drop?
Yeah, exactly. That's the big question here.
Yeah.
Liquid playing in their own jungle. Just gonna push out this top wave. They'll stand on the
iNsania.
high ground.
He's got a Lincoln Sphere too on iNsania, so that's gonna be a Lincoln Sphere that he can put on his team. That's to protect his Wraith King.
Oh,
Okay,
the Eidolons. Oh my goodness, they take an entire racks here, so they're gonna have to send BZM back. They lose 2 racks here.
Yeah, another chaotic element of these like 60-minute scenarios is 25s on heroes. Like Enigma with the Eidolons, they do so much damage at this point. You summon like 15 of them or something.
+5 demonic conversion Eidolons. Yes. So you have a full army.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's so hard to execute fights at this point. It really comes down to like if one hero on either side gets caught out, it can be GG.
All right, Yuraghi trying to just force them back. It is a Luna. The Glaive's bouncing. AMMAR's already in position here. They pop the BKB over on Yuraghi. They're just going to take as much of the base as they can, but there is a little bit of poking back and forth here in this mid lane. Boxi continuing to try to push out the wave.
Yeah, this is getting pretty spicy. I like this.
Sneaky.
You got one side doing this like X play to siege the high ground, and then the other side they're using AMMAR to rift out. That's pretty nice. I mean, either side, there's no fort on either side. Like either side could go throne at some point. The game could just blow up.
Another Sun Strike. They realize they're in the pit. Immediately the smoke coming out for OG. They want to try to fight this, but this Roach is going down way too fast. Even going for the cookie hop, they want to ensure that they can pick it up. There's a lot of nice juicy toys on the ground. Except they're getting picked up on miCKe. Also gonna grab up that Aegis as well here as OG, they'll back off. Oh, we get a Giant's Ring.
Oh.
Let's go, baby. Let's
Matumbaman.
go. That's a big skelly, man.
Now, the best thing about this is it means he can drop the boots and he's still insanely fast. Like, when you're a Rapier Wraith King, you're so happy with this. All right, Fallen Sky.
Fallen Sky, that could be very
Who do we
good.
put a Fallen Sky on Book of the Dead? That's one of the worst ones that you can get. Although, if we're going for some throne race, like, I mean, it's good for that.
Book of Shadows too. Very nice. Very nice for.
That's a weak item. You want that.
You want
item.
the Stygia
You want the
yeah.
Desolator. Deso 2, baby. Yeah, that's like the highest damage item in the game right there.
Scanning for enemies.
Legit. You'd
I
rather.
was saying for positioning purposes, the Book of the Shadows is pretty nice, but
I don't know. I find it to be very underwhelming. I'm always disappointed.
hey,
Hello. Hello
what's up?
there.
Can't even see him because he's so large. Gem gets dropped on the
Oh,
ground.
that's a dope item. That's
Mirror
a good
Shield
one.
is so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Holy
hell
shit.
yeah.
I mean, against Bane too. You're just like, well, what the hell do I do? I'm gripping myself. That came out wrong. All right.
Nice. Ooh, Zai, though, is getting clicked down by some of these summons. That is a very long X marks the spot. My goodness.
He is just not even able to clear that because the Book
Look
of
at
the
this.
Dead.
He's just walking right. Yeah, look at this.
That looks like the Book of the Dead building into an Octarine core. Very nice. Now it's Invoker. Refresher
cute.
Invoker, Strength Blink. This man has fallen.
Oh my god. Matu, just giant skeleton man. This looks like a Dark Souls boss at this point.
Yeah. High Lord Walnir. That's the skeleton boss in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
it.
looks like that guy.
He looks like him. Mhm.
He really does.
It was a very easy.
It's a super easy
Yeah,
fight.
super
Yeah,
easy
it's a
fight. This
really
is
easy
not
fight.
looking as easy.
No, this is looking tough. Force Boots. Nobody's using Force Boots? Okay, that's like the best neutral item. Tier 5.
Oh, they go for the black hole play over on BZM. They've had enough of his nonsense. He pops the BKB. He's got to run, though. He's got to get out of there fast. He's just throwing out meatballs, using all the spells possible. Goes for the refresher, trying to run away here. Zai, he's got the BKB. They want this Invoker, but they can't get their hands on him. He's too fast. They cannot close the gap on BZM. He's just running for his life. Look at this man.
Oh, he is so enthused to be alive right now. Clearly.
Fight me indeed, but you gotta catch him first. We've got Arcanist armor, and we've got...
To be honest, that's the look of somebody who just shit their pants. Like, is just looking...
You sound like you'd be an
dead
expert on that.
serious. Yeah, you look dead serious because you're like, oh no, I'm on camera.
Just got play cool, play cool.
Yeah, that was nice though. That
Nobody
was
using
really nice.
force boots.
I think Zai actually used the refresher for that too. So I don't know if he used the refresher shard or the Apex.
I know.
Oh baby.
Use the, we just have the refresher orb on cooldown.
Okay. And the shard is gone?
Shard is gone.
Okay, so he used both, actually. So he still has 1 black hole left. So they're fighting into 1 black hole instead of 3.
That's a little bit more doable, I think, for OG, but still very scary when you consider how big Mr. Matu is. Immediately, BZ, yeah, they're like, nope, get in the car, we're getting out of here. Misha, get this car. And they're gone. Even going for that BKB. Woo, this is a high-stress, high-tension game.
Yeah, at some point, one team is going to just throne the other while all 5 are
They all have
inside.
buyback, too.
That's why I feel like a throne play, like a surprise throne play will happen, which that's what it looked like to me that OG was setting up.
So all the trees got taken down.
Yeah, that's an issue. I mean, Zai can basically deforest the Amazon at this point if he wanted to.
Can we talk about how sad Taiga is? Like, he bought one of the most expensive items, and that's basically been it for this dude. Look at his items. That feels bad.
Yeah.
But he's got big aspirations, right? He's got the MKB and the Ags.
You know what
queued
the
up.
sad thing is? Like, his net worth doesn't even look that bad because it's just that expensive.
It's that expensive. It's insane. Matu clicking away on the tower. Look at all these Eidolons. Oh, my word.
Got sent to the battle.
But, I mean, they have a good high ground defense, right? You may consider you've got a Luna, it's got all the glaives that are going to be bouncing. You've got the Firestorm coming off from the Underlord. And, of course, you've got a Tornado to help clear out a little bit and meatballs. But
Oh, Zai's got his own book.
just getting silly. Very silly.
This is just like a battle of the demons down here.
Yeah, honestly, you just keep sending out your summons and you see
don't know.
which one are more powerful.
I don't know who's winning.
I think Liquid, the way that they're just running here into the base and being able to pull these shenanigans is looking pretty good. We've got double cheese on deck.
I'm not
The double-decker cheese.
I'm not even sure if Megas matters that much at this point. I think it's just picking somebody off who doesn't have buyback. I mean, this is a really nice
I mean, they all
play.
have buyback. This is going to be quite the
Yeah,
war
I suppose
here.
like picking somebody off who has buyback, forcing them to buyback, and then killing them again. Like that's what the game is boiling down to at this point. Because either side, when you get into these late game scenarios, like both sides have their strengths. Because 25 talents and neutral items, like they're just insane.
Now, they make the game very interesting, and they're also designed to make the game end. But when you've got this kind of a matchup here, you gotta be feeling that tension.
Here we go.
Okay, there it is. Fallen Sky, but they have that one. You're throwing him up in the air. It's just going to immediately pull him back. Boxi taking a lot of damage. How many Aeon discs do we have at this point in this game?
A lot. Well, there's so many items that Boxi has a tier 5 neutral item in his backpack, and he's using Apex on a pause 4 Weaver.
Yeah, that sounds about right. For
Just let that sink in for a second. Your position 4 is using Apex. Matumba's like, I don't want that shit. Get it out of here.
He's got a giant's ring. He's a big baddie. Look at AMMAR, though. He's trying to man-fight him. Classic AMMAR.
They both do literally 0 damage to each other.
I know. They just stare at each other, and it's like one of those skits, right, where they take off their glove and like slap the other person. It's more to hurt their pride than to actually hurt them at this rate.
It seems like a British thing to me to slap with the glove.
I think it's a French or British thing.
Oh,
It's a European thing in general.
It's a
I
European
believe.
thing for sure, yeah.
I could be wrong.
Have we seen a Torrent Storm yet? I feel like there
No,
hasn't
we
been a
haven't
fight
seen
since
Waterbender yet.
since he's gotten that. It's the later the game goes, the better that ability is. It's so disruptive, and you know, I would imagine he is level 30 on Kunkka, or is going to get level 30, and so he's going to have all of the Torrent talents.
There's so many BKBs on deck though too.
Yeah, but it lasts so
All right,
long.
oh, nice blink away here, but again. All right, that is the Eclipse that got used. They do have the Agnum Scepter on Yuraghi, but like,
Of course he has an egg. Yeah, naturally.
We're 67 minutes into the game. Like, everybody should be kitted out except for poor Taiga, who still has the same items that he's had.
I mean,
he's got to
AMMAR-
save up for that buyback, though.
AMMAR hasn't either, because he's just like, he's still
AMMAR has an
contemplating.
identity crisis.
All right,
He needs to finish up the Abyssal, right?
He's going back for the Abyssal. Like, he had Aghanims queued up to literally 10 seconds ago. So he's finally getting that. He's like, the Ags is too although
I don't even know. I still think the Ags is potentially good. Like, we're talking about these plays.
they go for a throne play with it.
All right. Matu, he's in. No.
slowly but surely, they're winning
This is
the game.
the worst way to win Dota.
Yeah.
Like, it's the slow bleed out.
But number one, it's the only way to win Dota at this point.
At this
And number
point.
two, it's also a way worse way to lose Dota.
Yes, it's way worse.
That is...
Just watching helplessly, like, what can I do? I can't hit him.
I just question what I'm looking at when I see a Stygian Desolator octoring.
Okay, all right, AMMAR, he's in. Nightmare comes out. They've got some of those creeps hitting the base, but there's a big cataclysm coming in. Can they take down this Wraith King? Now he's back up again thanks to the Weeper. There's the Black Hole coming out from Zai with that BKB. He's already trying to go in for a second time. They'll be able to take down first up, but Taiga, he won't fall. AMMAR, buying back in. This is going to be AMMAR and Taiga buying back again. They want to get in there. They have another Black Hole over here on the side. They're trying to put enough damage out over on the, to be able to take down Misha. Misha buying back. They're going right back in again. They want to get these kills. Yuraghi jumps forward. He gets the kill on Zai. There is no Enigma. Does have buyback though, as the rest of the team on the hunt. The buyback for the Enigma. Boxi running for his life as he gets another kill. iNsania will fall. More buybacks. The base is getting hit though with these creeps. As these fights go on, they've sent the troops down the mid lane as they take a moment to breathe after a big battle, and a lot of buybacks expanded. And Jenkins, Roshan is up and alive. Do they try to challenge? Can they even challenge? There is no Black Hole on the Enigma. But this Roche is going down so fast. I don't think they get there in time. Mats got his own refresher now too. Good God.
There's just so little to analyze at this point in the game. It's like that fight was just Zai trying to hit anybody with Black Hole.
Yuraghi, they've got the alacrity. We have another Aeon disc. Look at the amount of refreshers and the amount of Aeon discs in this game. I think has to be a new record.
Yeah, these are just like the late game items, and Zai takes the Aegis because everybody else is slotted, so he doesn't have much of a choice.
Oh my God, a double damage for Namatu. Look at this damage. Oh my God. Luna has too much stuff.
Naturally.
Luna has way too much stuff.
Yeah,
Highest amount of assets at least, but...
Go ahead and throw that in the old stash to the Satanic. Yeah, I'll use that.
Put it in the bag with everything else.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I love this kind of Dota. This is like so much fun to see. What do you do when your back's up against the wall? Is everybody have an Aeon disc over on the side of OG now? I guess no. They don't have one on the Bane. They don't have one on the...
Surprisingly.
It feels like everybody has it, though, but they don't. All right, all right. Another smoke play here coming out from OG. They're looking to poke. They're looking for some sort of engagement refresher on Luna. Again, reminder that there is a refresher on the Wraith King. Shard on the Enigma. This is going to be one heck of a battle. And it all comes down to who gets the jump on who.
Scanning for enemies.
This is going to sound absolutely insane.
Everything you say sounds insane.
Well, it's also 71 minutes in. I feel like Matumbaman is not actually doing damage, even though he has a literal rapier. Like,
they're so tanky.
It's just, they're so tanky. And because he has this refresher, they're somehow able to kind of ignore him and just go for everybody else. Like, the support's lives are the most important at this point in the game for both sides.
BZM gets found out here. Does have buyback. That'll be the Snapfire Kisses that get used. So they do find themselves a pick-off on the side of Liquid. That could be enough to open the door. But again, they do have buyback on Invoker.
Nullifier has insane value at this point because there's...
Oh my God, yeah.
There's like the Wind Waker, there's all of the Eon discs that you were talking about. It's like, when you get a Nullifier against like just a Necrophos or just one Eon disc, it feels good. When you get it against like 5, it feels like literally just the most busted item in the game. So great pickup from miCKe.
All right, Liquid making their way towards the base again. Look at all these Eidolons. Yuraghi just throwing out those lucent beams, trying to clear out the creep wave. And again, it is a Luna at 72 minutes in, so pretty easy to do, but it's also very scary to approach the creeps.
And at this point, I'm sure that Megas doesn't even matter. Like, this is, you make this play on Liquid because it's really all you can do, but it honestly doesn't matter that much. It's going to boil down entirely to somebody getting picked off without buyback, or Zai using all of his black holes and then not having one up, and then OG just literally runs down mid. It's like, yes, it looks like Liquid is ahead in this game. Yes, it looks like they have full control of this game, but all it takes is one opening for OG and they can run down mid and instantly end the game. So it could go either way.
cleaning up all these creeps. Jump forward from Matu. He's in. He's looking to see if he can blow anybody up as quickly as possible. AMMAR already, though, is looking to try to get people out. He does get hexed up. There it is. There's a black hole over onto 3 side. Perfect positioning, but it's not going to be able to finish up. There it is. Second black hole is going to be able to grab the Luna. They'll take down Misha. They'll take down Yuraghi. Yuraghi going to have to buy back immediately as they do get the kill. Over onto AMMAR. They need more damage, though. They need to take down this Wraith King. They'll take him down once, but he's coming right back up again. OG looking to find the entry to go and just continue this fight, but it's so hard. They almost managed to get the kill. Like, all right, oh, Yuraghi, he goes in very, very deep. He's got to run. The Matu's hot on his heels. They're going to chase him. The Hex comes out from BZM, though. Can they keep it alive long enough so that Yuraghi can get back into the fountain? He's too much damage. No, they'll be able to save him just in the nick of time, but there it is. They're going to try to drag Taiga right back out using the black hole. They'll get the kill on Taiga. He does not have buyback. miCKe sitting a little bit lower on the side. Yuraghi trying to man fight over here onto Matu. That's going to be another reincarnation. He's coming right back up again. Stunned into place. Follow up with the tornado. Yuraghi looking for the moment to go and drop that Lucent Beam, but they're just focusing down over on the buildings. They know that they don't have the buyback on a lot of these heroes. Meteor's getting dropped to try to push them away the Tsar, but they call GG. Team Liquid just absolutely obliterating OG in that last fight.
It's so hard to make the right call at that point in the game. I liked what they were doing with the sieging. I loved the patience, especially from Zai, because, like, he's the reason that was so hard for OG. That he